प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Let me share my screen.
Visas weren't permitted. Message and preaching. So in the course of his visits to Delhi, a person he met gave him a flyer from a gentleman in Japan. This is history.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
After World War II, during World War II, visas weren't permitted. Countries didn't want foreigners to come into their country, so they didn't give visas for visitors. And it was like that for some time after.
Prabhu, is it possible to increase the volume? Check it, please. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhu. I'll try. It's a full, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Have you shared the audio, Prabhu? Because you don't need to be, your microphone can be muted if you do that.
Yeah, he shared the audio, Prabhu.
I shared, Prabhu, today.
Okay.
After World War II. And around this time, this is when Prabhupada got a visa to go to America, because they were just starting to open up the doors for visas, tourist visas. So one man in Japan, a forward-thinking man, decided to have a conference called the Cultivation of the Human Spirit. What does that mean? It can mean anything. Cultivation of the human spirit. And he had this vision of, let's get together and be unified instead of, at war with each other. Cultivation of the human spirit. Post-World War II, the pendulum is starting to swing the other way. Someone gave Prabhupada the flyer. He wrote a letter to the gentleman. The organizer said, please send me a letter with which I can get a visa to come. An invitation letter. So he got the invitation letter. He never got the visa. He didn't have a passport at that time. He didn't have the money to get on a plane. But he had the plan for preaching globally while he's living in a little room. And it's just the picture of the heart of our founder Acharya is just amazing. He was like 20 steps ahead of himself. He was going to go to Japan. Bhaktisiddhanta is called English-speaking parts of the world, but there'll be people from all over the world, and let's go. It's like spread the message outside of India. So he wrote a book. He wrote a book for the event that never got published because he didn't have the money to publish it. But the book later got published in English and then translated into Chinese and other languages. Light of the Bhagavad. Anyway, so rather than all that history, he had an idea to bring people together who didn't know anything about Krishna to help them know something about Krishna. So there was this cultivation of the human spirit conference. So we had a similar idea, a few people. Body, mind, spirit retreat, which could mean anything, like the Congress for the Cultivation of Human Spirit. Could mean anything. So through social media, I don't know anything about it, some people do, we had 100 people show up in Gitanagari for something they didn't know anything about. Body, Mind, Spirit retreat. And one of the first themes was this one because it's on people's minds, especially young people, especially Western, but not just Western. Young people, this is an important topic. Relationships is really important. However, without respect, how you can have a relationship? Answer, dysfunctional, temporary, limited, and dysfunctional. So we spent a whole weekend discussing fabric of relationships as respect. Same as what I'm doing. Same for a different audience than new people. This is ISKCON people already practicing ISKCON people. How to have the etiquette of respect in our relationships with one another. What does it look like? How do you get there? Hope you understand the message. So here's a little bit of instructions about conventional sense of respect. This is something right from the internet. This is on the material side. Help out, cooperate, come together, blend, collaborate, serve, unite, da 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 da. Cliches where people, rather than being at odds with one another because there's differences between us, you practice and strive to respect one another, although there's differences. Here's a little, I like this one a lot. I'll probably say it more than once during this time together. There was a situation where Srila Prabhupada was in Ireland. And when he was in Ireland, he met with a professor named O'Grady, which is a nice Irish name, O'Grady, Professor O'Grady. So Professor O'Grady was speaking to Prabhupada, saying, Swamiji, your followers are from all over, and there's such differences amongst them. How do you maintain peace and tranquility with so many differences? Good question. Sometimes we don't do such a good job. Prabhupada's answer was, he pointed to the vase that was on the table. He said, see this vase? In the vase, there are many different kinds of flowers, of different colors, of different fragrances, and it makes it very beautiful. He didn't say the rest, but if it was all the same color, the same fragrance, the same everything, it wouldn't be as beautiful. So diversity makes beautiful. But then he made the point, but there's something same about, they're all flowers. That's the unity. So the key, Prabhupada pointed it out, this is what I'm making the message here, there's the unity that brings diversity to the point of beauty rather than the point of dissension. And what's that unity principle? Krishna is to be pleased. Bhakti. Isn't that the definition of bhakti? You know the verse? Those of you know the verse, you can say it with me. Anya bilashata shunyam yana karma dhanavratam anukoyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. So, anushilana, following the conduct of perfected souls, that Krishna, anushilana, Krishna should be pleased. That's Rupa Goswami's definition of what bhakti is. And that's what we should be doing. That's the unity principle. The diversity principle is fine. It's beautiful. It's not going to be homogenized anyways. We're all different. That's quite clear and natural and fine. But the unity part. So that's the respect, that the respect for this one, that one, the other one goes ultimately to Krishna. Because Krishna will be pleased if we exhibit that. So this is where virtue meets Bhagavad Dharma. You with me? We're going to have, in the course of this time together, we're going to discuss virtuous persons. Yudhishthira is an example. Perfectly virtuous. We're going to hear tomorrow evening, next Saturday, we're going to hear about Sanatana Goswami, perfectly virtuous person. He was the senior most amongst the 6 Goswamis, as Yudhishthira was the senior most amongst the Pandavas, and they all respected him. They all respected him because of his virtue. So he was worthy of their respect, and he lived by the principles that would be pleasing to Krishna. They followed Dharma. They followed the principles of virtue leading to Bhagavad Dharma. Here's Prabhupada in a room conversation in Rome. Even if an enemy comes to your home, he should be offered respect. Now, it's different if there's a thief comes to your home or someone is attacking your wife or something. Something. Then you take you may be in a situation where you have to be strong, take proper action, appropriate action. But if it's just someone that's harsh, or rather than describe the characteristics, just the label of enemy, well, it's disarming. We'll see examples how Yudhishthira. Here's the next example. Here's Yudhishthira coming before blind grandfather, Dhritarashtra, and there's Domya, because the king is blind, he doesn't know who's come. Domya is informing, Yudhishthira has come to see you. And there's several places in Mahabharata where Yudhishthira, A and B, he knows the skullduggery of Duryodhana. B, he knows that Dhritarashtra knows all the skullduggery. He's not exactly the accomplice, but he's done nothing to stop it. And he's the father. And he's done nothing to stop it. And some of the things he doesn't like, when it was the House of Lack, he didn't like the idea, but he didn't say don't do it. Yudhishthira knows this. Yudhishthira knows in part because of Vidura. Vidura knows everything because he's part of the royal family. And Vidura favors the Pandavas, the good guys and the bad guys, the virtuous and the wicked. Every time in this painting it depicts it, Yudhishthira came before the blind Dhritarashtra with all respect and honor, because he's elderly. His father's elder brother. And respect goes to that person, even he was acting as an agent or an accomplice or something with Duryodhana's multiple murder plans and other skullduggery. Nonetheless, he offered his all respect. 2 other examples, and I'm going to wind it down. Another nice example is there anybody new here that needs an introduction to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master, Ishwara Puri? Anybody needs a little introduction to that topic? You all know the topic. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a spiritual master. His name was Ishwara Puri. Ishwara Puri had a spiritual master. His name was Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri had a number of disciples. Ishwara Puri was one. Ramchandra Puri was another. Madhavendra Puri was in the line from Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya was very straight and narrow and strict. He's an acharya. And he gave a certain mood and a certain set of teachings and certain explanation of Vedanta and everything. Explanation of Mahabharata in detail. Some generations later, Madhavendra Puri came and he inaugurated something that wasn't given to him through disciplic succession, but it was a mood that was compliant with all Vaishnava Siddhanta, which was the love for Krishna, because Udupi Krishna, Madhvacharya is a lover of Krishna. The mood of Krishna in the mood of love and separation from, or Vipralamba Bhav. You've heard the term? You know what it means? Vipralamba Bhav. Love and separation. No, we know it as like the gopis feel love and separation from Krishna. But all the residents, all those who have a lovable object, when there's the absence of the lovable object, there's this feeling of separation. And love increases when there's separation. And then there's meeting. It's not like it's lesser, but the intensity is something special. It's different flavor. Love and meeting, love and separation. And it's important teachings. It's an important teaching in Lord Chaitanya's line. But before Lord Chaitanya came, Madhavendra Puri passed on to him. It was Ishwar Puri. Passed on to him was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's details. Ishwar Puri came to meet Nimai when he was a young boy, like a school teacher, a Brahmin boy. And he had Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read and edit the grammar, because he was a grammar teacher, his writings. And his writings were filled with the same love of separation. At least, by disciplic succession. Lord Chaitanya came into this world to teach Braja Prem, which has love and separation. But before Lord Chaitanya came, it was Ishwar Puri, before him Madhavendra Puri. So amongst the followers of Madhavendra Puri was a disciple named Ramachandra Puri. Ramachandra Puri was a fault finder. He had just that disposition, and he found fault in Madhavendra Puri. Because when he came once to see Madhavendra Puri, he wasn't reading Vedanta Sutra. He was reciting a verse again and again and again in Sanskrit, tasting love and separation from Krishna. So, of all the nerve, Madhavendra Puri had to hear from Ramchandra Puri, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be studying Vedanta. Why are you reciting this verse again and again?" Madhavendra Puri told him, "Leave. You can go wherever you want. I just don't want to see your face again. If I die seeing your face, my destiny will be a hellish place. Go wherever you like." Like heavy. Whew. And so Ramchandra Puri had this infamy that he was a fault finder. And one of it, he just kind of made it his business. He would travel to the associates of Madhavendra Puri and Ishwar Puri and anybody, all Vaishnavas, and go visit them and find out what they were doing wrong, and then find fault with them. That was his thing. So he heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he visited Puri, and he went to find some fault with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He couldn't find any fault. Couldn't find any fault. One day he found a fault. That's when it's in this painting. There were some ants on the floor. Aha! You're eating too many sweets. Sannyasis are not to eat so many sweets. That's why there's all these ants. Just see. Now, in St. Louis, there are not too many ants on the floor. But in India, there's ants on the floor. And it's not because somebody's eating too many sweets. It's just there's ants all over the place. It's just little insects and all kinds. Well, those of you that lived in India, or visited India, I know, and I'm not from India. There's ants, anyway. So the note at the bottom, whenever Ramchandra Puri came to see him, the Lord offered his respects, adara, with great attention. Why? He's the godbrother of his spiritual master. Yeah, but he's a fault finder. Yeah, but he is the god brother of my spiritual master. And so, although he's by disposition a fault finder, which is offensive, it's, we heard Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's not to be done. He did it anyways. And so, because of this Sanskrit word adara, it's a very important word. It's very similar to the English word adore. Adara, or offering respect. He offered him respect. Even he knew what he was up to. He had offended his grand spiritual master. He still offered him respect. It's an important Vaishnava principle. It's an important Vaishnava etiquette. Here's our last slide. This is a painting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Haridas Thakur. He's the one that's holding the beads. And then other associates of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, is offering respect and offering respect and offering respect. Same word, adara. You adore. This is Haridas to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are living within a society of great, great brahmanas and aristocrats, but without fear or shame, you adore a lower class man like me. You're showing me such adara, or respect. Now this word adara, some of you like reading Prabhupada's books, I know. And one of those books is Rupa Goswami, translation of Rupa Goswami's Upadesh Amrita, or Nectar of Instruction. In text number 7, this word adara is there, where Rupa Goswami is describing for instruction for us how to go beyond mechanical chanting. Or chanting where it doesn't taste nice, doesn't have sweet taste. You know the verse? The verse is saying, one who has jaundice, when you take misri or rock candy, tastes bitter. Although by nature, the rock candy is condensed sweet, but it tastes bitter. So what do? If you have jaundice and the doctor prescribes something that tastes bitter, you take it with adara, with great respect and appreciation. This is going to cure my disease. So take the chanting, even you may not have taste for chanting, take it anyways, and do it regularly with great appreciation, great attention, great respect for the name, because the name is Krishna. The name and the person are non-different. So with great respect for the name. And that's how chanting should be done also. So all of these points I'm done. All of these points are respect ultimately goes to the source of everything. The failure to respect or disrespect goes to the source of everything. If you have respect for the source of everything, it's easy to have respect for that which comes from the source of everything. Supposing your respect for the source of everything is weak, then it's easy to be not so respectful to that which is from the source. And then you can pick and choose and have your
Hare Krishna, Guru Prabhu. Are you able to hear me? Brothers? Anybody else is able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Before Guru Prabhu start, just 2 quick announcements. For the past few days or weeks, we have had a new person, devotee who is coming to our house. I'd like to welcome Subudhi Rai Prabhu, who is from Hyderabad, and very nice that you joined Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Very good to hear you, Subhuti.
Prabhu, is it only for me? I feel the volume is very low. Even your voice is very low today.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I felt the same.
Even I feel the same. But your voice is very good, Hemasundari Mataji.
Is it any better now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So one, I wanted to welcome Subudhi Rai Prabhu. Subudhi Rai Prabhu, can you unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. So please do join us, and please do join the discussion too whenever we have, if you would like to add something to the discussions, Prabhu. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
one. Second is today we have our Pranavala Prabhu is having an angioplasty to remove some clots in his body, and so that he can have a fresher, youthful body, so that he can serve Guru and Krishna nicely. So may I request all of you to please pray that the doctor be empowered to serve him nicely so that he can serve all of the devotees and have his own spiritual master, and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. That's it, Guru Prabhu. You can continue. Guru Prabhu, your voice is not at all heard.
Now, Prabhu.
Now it's better. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Hemasundari Mataji, I can see your hand is raised.
Yes, Prabhu. I wanted to share something. Maybe a little longer. So please bear with me. Recently on Saturday, I spoke with Shyam Kun Prabhu regarding two things. One is my chanting has been bad for the past 2 weeks, and I have been finding faults with all the devotees around me. So these two things I shared with him, and he gave me some ideas, and I've been working on that. But today, yesterday when we heard this topic about respect, I had some thoughts like we have to respect everyone. So all those discussion happened. So my mind was telling me similarly, when I say I have to respect everyone, irrespective of whether they are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Sudra, whatever, Vaishya, and all those things, the same thing applies to me. So I kind of expect that respect. And respect is not, I'm not meaning in the, it's not in the sense that they have to fall in my feet or they have to give me water. Not that respect that we see externally. This is more of how to say. Suppose we are a group of 3-4 people, and 3 of them are talking, and they somehow talk such that nothing reaches me. So I kind of feel I'm also among them, but they do not want to share this with me. So I kind of feel left out, and I feel why don't they share with me what is wrong? And then I feel that why shouldn't I expect that respect? We have been sharing things with each other for very long, and all of us are equal, and why suddenly they are leaving me? So the feeling of being left out, being ignored. So that was going a little higher. So then yesterday when I heard, I was able to relate it with respect. So probably I'm feeling that they should respect me, they should respect my feelings, and they should include me in everything. And then little more further, when I think, I felt, okay, it is my false ego that I have been with them for so long. I have done, and all those things. So it's more of my false ego also acting there. that I'm expecting that kind of acceptance, not being ignored and being respected, all these together. So then today, before the class, I was rehearsing myself on asking this question. Why? It is very easy to say, be mindful of yourself, do only what is required for you, don't expect others' respect, and all those things. But it's quite natural when we are a group of some people. We are so conditioned that we small things we do expect. Then I also remembered Maharaj saying, when me and my husband, we spoke to Maharaj, asking whether we can shift to this temple side. So that time Maharaj didn't neither said yes nor said no. The only word he said is, don't move here with any expectation. So I was remembering that, and I was thinking, okay, I shouldn't expect anything. But somehow I was not feeling convinced at all. And this lecture which was played, I have heard this 3 times, in the sense Maharaj spoke in 3 different places the same lecture, and I have already heard this. But while hearing, I was only I think I was hearing it a little delayed live, like 1 day after the lecture, something like that. At that time, I was only thinking about how I should respect others. But now, since I'm feeling that I'm not respected, so when I'm listening with a different ear. And then with all my thoughts, I was hearing today, and Maharaj spoke about Yudhishthira, and he said that Yudhishthira was respected by all, and he didn't stop there. He said that he was always pleasing the Lord, and he deserved that respect. And that was enough for me to understand that I have not been doing that, and I don't deserve to be respected. So I just wanted to share how the same lecture, when heard with different mood, can bring different learning. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing your experience and thoughts which are going on. Any other comments or questions from today's talk? If not, there are 2 questions pending from yesterday.
One appreciation, Ravi. Maharaj always emphasize about that light of Bhagavatam. So how Prabhupada struggled initial days itself, even though he don't know whether he will go or not, but he written that light of Bhagavatam to present there. So somehow it's not happened. So always Maharaj will remember that point. So emphasizing his efforts, we can understand that. Yeah. And again, so even enemy comes, how we have to respect means, yeah, enemy in the sense like if we are hating someone or they are hating us, even though we should respect them. So there he again pointed out somehow it's not a exceptional case like a thief or something. So he is not neglecting that point. Generally we'll get out, okay, whoever comes we have to respect. But he is taking care of each angle, how we have to do that. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Maharaj was nicely explaining like differentiating factor so that it will be very clear on his statements for us. Yes, Subhiti Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So while listening to Hemasundari's Mataji's contemplation and also what she shared, so it reminds me of one point that spiritual life is means the growth is not linear, but it is circular or concentric, whatever word, circular. So means the same lecture Mataji heard for 3 times, and just meditating on one single point and trying to cultivate. Means we hear many lectures, but just applying one point and meditating on one point, how it can help us grow in spiritual life. I was thinking about that. And also from today's lecture, how Maharaj was telling that that respecting by respecting the source from where it is coming. So it answers many questions and uh, many things many things what we do in our day-to-day lives also. It makes things very easier. It's not only in a spiritual life, but so-called material life also. As Maharaj says always, you have to spiritualize everything. There is nothing like balance of material and spiritual things. So that can also be done by following this point that we have to connect to the source, respect the source. So these were 2 points that I wanted to share. So, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your points. Okay, Shamkund Prabhu, shall we
Correct.
discuss on those 2 points? Yes, Mataji, Lavanya Mataji, sorry.
Um,
Yeah, please.
Prabhu, yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just now, my Prabhu said, if Maharaj also mentioned, enemy comes, we have to offer obeisances. Definitely, we will offer obeisance, but what is my doubt is, enemy comes means what immediately for my case, what will happen to us? What happened to us? If everything will come in my mind. So how this, because of that only, it can become as enemy because some hate like that it's there. So how can we remove those thoughts from our mind, Prabhu? If enemy comes, immediately we can offer, but at the same time, we can remember what happened to us. So how can we remove those thoughts and all?
Any devotee can offer us a response for Mataji's question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Kumarika here.
Yes, Mataji.
I think that unless and until we forgive whom we think as enemy, it is our perception. We have been hurt. We have been hurt before. So before that is just offering respect does not mean anything, as she says. It comes in the mind and it interferes with the transaction that we will be having in future. So it is best to this is from my own experience and what I found out from some self-help books and all. So when we sit down, in one of the books, the author had said, you sit down and meditate upon whom you think as your enemy, and say, I forgive you. You don't have to go and tell them, but say, I forgive you for what all you have spoken or done. And then you invest your energy in thinking that let him or her have all the beneficial things. So wish well for him from your heart. So you meditate like that for half an hour. I tried it with my boss. Actually, I was I was having a very difficult relationship with him, and I really tried it with him, and it worked like magic. Once I had forgiven him, and I did not have that what she says as the feelings whenever I come in front of him. I didn't have that feeling that he is my enemy. And from then on, we did not become great intimate friends, but the vibrations which I had for him changed. He could sense that she does not send out that hateful vibrations as before. So he also changed, and our relationship became almost very cordial and tolerable since then. So that is one way, Mataji. This I learned not from ISKCON, but before that time I joined the ISKCON. But it was very helpful for me. So unless we forgive and try to forget the aches and pains that we have incurred, it will be difficult to maintain a very nice relationship with that person.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Then
you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just what Kumarika Mataji said about the forgiveness. So yeah, this is very much true. And there is one statement which I heard that do not blame the instrument of your karma. Okay, so we have grudge with somebody. It's because it's all our karma which is we are receiving through that instrument. So don't blame that instrument for your karma. So when I, understood that way, it was very easy for me to forgive that particular person. I mean, just to share, one person cheated me with 4 lakhs rupees in some in some transaction a few years ago. And whenever I'll go to hometown, he will very happily come to my home, and I will not even talk to him, look at him, but he will come and go. And then one day I realized, no, this is not what I'm supposed to do as per the devotee standard. And then this line was very helpful, that don't blame the instrument for your own karma. So then it was easy for me to deal with the person later on. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just to add on, I was also thinking on similar lines to what the Prabhu was saying. The first thing is, without Krishna's sanction, nothing happens. So there is some reason for why that person has hurt us, like what Dirlit Prabhu said. They are just an instrument of our karma. So we should only try to see what we can learn from that incident rather than having hatred for them and having grudge on them. But it is easier said than done. But that is what it is.
Yes, Mataji. Whatever we get, whether it is good or bad, it's from Krishna as we deserve. So that's where, like, even though it's tough, I think we should see Krishna's hand in each and everything. Yes, Shashwini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just a small thing I want to add, Prabhu. Recently, I heard from Hemangi Mataji something on this topic only. So she was saying that. Sorry, Prabhu. So she was saying that she was giving one example, like she was in a kitchen, in DT kitchen, and that time when Prabhu was there. So she told that one potato bag was there. So she told to Prabhu that, can you put this bag to that place? So that Prabhu took the bag, and very slowly he was walking, and slowly he was going to that place. And Mataji was thinking, why is going so slow? And even though we are so busy and we are in hurry, why he is going so slow like that? And after that, when Mataji went there, and she saw that, oh, Prabhu's leg is got hurt, and that's why he's not able to carry that potato bag, but still he was trying. So similarly, so she was concluding that sometimes we don't know the inner injury, the subtle injuries in our heart. So because that reflection is coming out in our actions, so we don't know that how the other person is behaving because of that, because he received something bad, or he is struggling with some hurt in inner injury. So we but it's not like because we don't know, so that's why we cannot forgive, or we cannot say that. So means I can means he was saying that it is the person who is unable to give the right thing to me, but because of some weakness. So we should understand that. So that, but at the same time, it's not like we will, when we will get to know what is happening, then only we will forgive. we should have a scope. We should have a scope that that we can forgive like this. That's it, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice example. Yeah, it's already 7:15. Shamkun Prabhu, like, what do you say? Like, shall we discuss?
We'll end the call here today. We'll continue
Just two
on
questions
Monday.
tomorrow, Prabhu.
Yeah, to Thursday tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you, devotees, for joining session. There's a just reminder for today's Ekadashi. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.